All right, hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. It is round two of the summer 21st century's best bracket challenge. That is quite a mouthful. And we're got the results in. We've got a brand new bracket. It's up on, it'll be up on Instagram simultaneously with this video. Don't forget to vote out there in all socials. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you know when these videos are coming out. Get that little bell on and go ahead and like the video, of course. And all right, round two. We will go ahead and start back around. I got to pull up the bracket here. It's Javi Hernandez versus the man on everybody's mind at the moment, Mr. Kylian Mbappe. What you telling me, X?
Man scored a hat trick in a World Cup final. Like, the world had to snatch it from him, or he was going to snatch it from the whole world. Like, nah, it's Mbappe, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I second it.
For me, yeah.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't matter.
Mbappe.
Club, country, best night of his life. I'm expecting a hat trick at a World Cup final. That's who I'm taking.
And in the Champions League final, that would be even less for him. It would be like a walk in the park for him.
Yeah.
Right.
And he did
Yeah,
it in
just gotta
two
get
World
there.
Cup finals. He was
just
a
gotta get
monster
there.
too.
Is this a case of Xavi, although he's immense and incredible, he also had superstars around him, and Mbappe was kind of he had superstars around him, but he was the superstar of the superstar.
Carried them. Carried
Right.
them.
Yeah,
Right.
Like he brought them back into that final himself.
I mean,
And had it
yeah,
not been for two PKs, he'd have won the final. So
He absolutely would have.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If guy hits the pass,
Oh, I will never.
yeah, gets
No one
gets
wants to
the-
talk about it. They always want to
FIFA
talk about, what a save. If my man would have just literally faked and
The
just
FIFA
laid
pass.
it off.
But you know what it would make that more funny is because it would have destroyed the whole Messi thing.
Oh.
It would have destroyed it. Like the MLS Messi move doesn't happen. None of it happens without
History's
that.
real. Yeah, because that's two
Like a
World
butterfly effect.
back-to-back World Cups for Mbappe.
He
Goated.
got offered $1
He-
billion today.
It's the fact that he's just not been on a team that's made anything in the Champions League
Right.
matter.
I mean, it's PSG. They
Xavi's
find
a
a way.
champion. I mean, Xavi
PSG
has
is the
not.
Tottenham of the Champions League.
They made it to a final.
They did. But
So
the
did
team
Tottenham
they played was
To a
better.
final.
So did
Did-
Tottenham.
Yeah,
This
so
is true.
Tottenham did.
They are the Tottenham of the Champions League.
But they did lose to a treble-winning Bayern.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to say the same. I mean, yeah, I mean when you're looking at when you're wanting an individual performance, you're wanting somebody to step up. We've seen it time and again. Yeah, I guess it's
just-
old Mbappe.
he's
It
just
just
got
seems
it.
so weird. It seems so weird to vote
Yes.
against Xavi.
Well, see, my thing is, and this is just me, my thoughts in general. I always thought Iniesta was better than Xavi. That's just me personally. You
Sure.
know, I felt like that Iniesta was integral to a lot of Barcelona's success. You know, he was the guy that if Messi was having a bad day, which of course rarely happens, he would pick up the slack. You know, but he was also a fantastic player. Like I get why people love Xavi Alonso because Xavi Hernandez
And
because he's great. I mean, he was fun to watch, but for me, you know, he of that trident of three of Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi, it would go Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. You know, in terms of the ranking, you know,
yeah,
for me. So
Mhm.
I would go Mbappe, and you know, I don't want it to be recency bias by any means, but what we have seen from Mbappe is different. I mean, it just is. I mean, you you think about it, that Monaco team, it had talent. I mean, it had Silva. It had who's the guy that
was
went
there. You
Who?
had, a couple of wingers that were ridiculously good.
But I mean, he was it, and he carried that team too.
Yeah.
And there was talent on there, but he was still the guy. And everywhere he's gone, he's been the guy. And if he goes to Real Madrid, he will still be the guy. And I think there's a lot to be said about that.
His
Because you're talking about a level of player that not many can get to. You know, we talk about Ronaldo, we talk about Messi, we talk about, I mean, even Benzema, while he was amazing for Real, he stood out amongst the players, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Karim Benzema. You know, if Mbappe goes to Real, I mean, you might as well shut it down.
I would say this. I'd add this is for Mbappe. You look at different guys. It's not if but when.
Yeah.
Like literally for him, it's not if. It's not like, for example, you look at some guys and you're like, well, if they win this thing or if they win that, it's not an if. You know he's gonna win one. Like I've never felt so confident about a guy. Like he's gonna win a Champions League. They're gonna win they won the Euros, right? Did he win a Euro with France? I don't think they did, or did they?
No, they lost.
No, they didn't win the because Italy won that Euro. But he's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna win every trophy available to him.
How does not winning the Euro get you an automatic bid to the World Cup? But that's whatever. You know what? We'll get on that.
Yeah, that was a weird thing, anyways.
That was weird.
Yeah. But for Mbappe, it's not if but when, which is literally the equivalent of like, and I mean the history FC history basketball people might not like it. It's not. It's the equivalent of LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew LeBron was going to win. It didn't matter. It wasn't an if. Everyone knew he was going to win. It was how many.
Except for Cleveland fans.
No, but even then,
Cleveland.
But here's why you knew.
Eventually.
But this is where again it's this similar thing where we've been around for some generational stuff. LeBron James left Miami and what they had and went back to Cleveland intentionally. That wasn't an if. That was a win.
Yep.
He knew he was gonna win. There's a confidence about him that you're just like, this guy is just he's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner. And so you got to think about it and navigate it in that way. So, you know, the only people who may have an issue with it is the people who are afraid of the legacy thing. For example, Mbappe literally saw the Messi legacy in front of him and he said, F it, I'm going after that. And he almost ruined the whole party because if he didn't get it this one, he was never getting it.
Yeah.
And think about it. Messi is considered one of the best to ever play, and it was an if for him.
Mm-hmm.
It was an if for him. I'm just putting it like that. It was an if.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if Messi wins a World Cup, well, Mbappe did that at
22. 22.
And,
was it 20?
Or 20, 22. Yeah.
I think it's 20 because he's 24 now.
Yes, it was 20. It was 20. But
He
think
did
about that.
To 20.
But like Ronaldo, for Cristiano, did we ever say, well, you know, he's going to win a World Cup? Nope. Never. Because
everybody goes crazy over his Euro win.
Because that's
and
the
he didn't do anything in that final.
That's as high.
Yeah,
that was as high as he could get. You're right.
But for this guy to exist and to say, okay, when? Because, okay, we're looking at this next World Cup and we're going to be like, yeah, you know, Brazil will probably be good because Carlo's there. Anybody betting against France? Because I know I ain't. No, I ain't.
They're absolutely loaded with talent. It's insane.
And not only am I not betting against them, I bet Mbappe is going to completely just show everything.
Destroy it. He's going to destroy it.
Especially he'll be prime. He'll be in his prime. He ain't even in his prime yet.
If he goes to Madrid next summer and they just wipe the floor with the next two Champions Leagues, and he's coming off back-to-back Champions Leagues into the.
He'll become Brazilian somehow and go play for Ancelotti in Brazil. Like,
I sure I'm sure
No,
there's
stop
some Brazilian colony that he claimed, France
And so
invaded or something.
like what I'm saying is going down a line where it feels almost sacrilege to say this guy has the potential, right? Based on narratives and all these things. Because I remember the question is Messi bigger in the MLS than Pele was, or is Messi bigger in the United States bigger than Pele? Well,
No.
Pele didn't have TV, social media, none of that stuff. So the magnitude of its sharing is bigger because it naturally has to be. Is it bigger than Pele? No, not historically, because Pele had to do it first for Messi to even have the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and even then, you had to look at where Messi was to get to that point. Because if Messi still could have played in Europe, he would have never left Europe. We're just going to be honest about that.
Yeah.
So Pele came here because Pele came here. And so we're looking at, and I'm not, because I think Pele's like on a different sort of stratosphere. You don't compare it to stuff like that, But Mbappe is literally, as long as he stays healthy, is on that line. Because it was literally
He'll
when.
be above Pele. I mean,
It's
he's
when.
already on track now.
It's
He's
when.
already broken one of his records for the World Cup.
It's just literally when. So you're like, France is always going to be good. So we're realistically looking at how many World Cups can Mbappe win? Not if, but how many can he win?
He wins at least one more.
Yeah.
And so if he gets a minimum of one, which he'd be what? You said he's 24 now, so he'd
24,
be 28,
yeah.
So he'd be 28 for the next one. I mean, 28? Are you crazy? So that means he could get one more at 32.
Yep. And that
So he
French
could
team
get
is
3.
young. It's not
And
like
then he
the
could go
French
to
team is
36.
aging out of him as well. The French team is all right there with him.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you're looking there, and France is literally restocking with talent all the time.
Insane.
So this guy could possibly, if we went long ball, he goes to 36. He could get 4 World Cups. 4. And that's not including what he's going to do in between, because he's going to win in between.
Yeah.
So if he in the middle of those 4 years, if he gets one Champions League in between those 4,
And a Euro. You forget about
and at least 1 Euro in there, at least, because he's going to win one. Like that's legendary. Like we can say Messi's the GOAT, Cristiano's the GOAT.
Legendary.
Mbappe shows up with that trophy haul. If Messi can win if Messi can win the Ballon d'Or off of just the World Cup, I'm not predicting that. I don't want that, but I'm just saying if he can do that,
He is.
then
Especially
Mbappe,
that goal, the hype, all of it. Messi's winning Ballon d'Or.
Well, I'm with you. You've convinced me. It's Mbappe. Jeez. Right. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Get it. Jeez, man.
Yeah, we
just
understand.
came.
I
It just came
understand.
in.
I understand for sure. So Mbappe is moving on to the next round. And next up, Xabi Alonso made it through. Also, Philip Lahm is his opponent.
Ooh.
Interesting one.
That's tough.
It's a tough one for sure.
Can I rock paper scissors this one?
It's close, right? It's close like that for sure. I think for me, man, there's so many. So it depends on what you're really valuing. I think Philip Lahm's presence on the field as a captain, as a leader, cannot be understated. I feel like, yes, Xabi Alonso was a leader in the Madrid team, a leader in the Spain team, but he also, again, had, bigger leaders, bigger kind of personalities in that Spain team. I felt like he was a bit of a very important part of the team, but also kind of, it was kind of like a puzzle piece. He wasn't necessarily like the guy.
Right.
I guess he was definitely a big presence at Liverpool in his time at Liverpool. Man, it's so tough. It's so tough. I think I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Philip Lahm because of his captaincy, because of just overall kind of more of a bigger personal impact, I think. Close one though. Close one.
There's just not many right backs that stand out in the history of the game, and Philip Lahm is in that. It's like Ashley Cole, like to be one of the greatest players as a left back, to be one of the greatest players as a right back, or Philip Lahm played a little bit of right mid, and yeah, it's just it's easy. I don't want to say it's easier to do as a midfielder. I don't want to say it's easier to do as a striker because it's all relative. But it's just name 4 other right backs who can compete anywhere on this list.
Yeah, there's not many right backs on the list.
Right. It's just maybe Cafu, but he's not in the modern era. In the modern era, we're lacking in that position as it is. I'm taking Philip Lahm. So yeah, right.
Aren't any that got through to this round.
So yeah, I'm taking Lahm here.
Me too. I was gonna go Javi, but then I thought, I'm like, that's true. There's no defenders, and you just think about levels, because even though the German teams were good and the Liverpool teams were good and the Bayern teams are good, there was a different expectation when Spain was Spaining.
Yeah,
it was just a different one.
Sure. Yep. Fair enough. What you think, Patrick?
I got the answer for you. Who was the captain between the two on Bayern?
Lahm.
Lahm.
Yeah. He was there longer.
I didn't know they were there at the same time.
They were.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He came later. Came at the end.
I'm looking through his wiki right now, and it's impressive. First off, I will say that he played for Liverpool, he played for Real, he played for Bayern. So I mean, he played for 3 huge clubs. But I remember one thing about Lahm is even when he couldn't play right back, Pep wanted him on the field in the midfield. And I think that speaks volumes to the type of player Philip Lahm was. I remember this discussion a long time ago. I had it with a Bayern fan, and I was talking to him, and I said, you got Lewandowski, you've got Schweinsteiger, you've got Ribery and Robin. Who is the one player, and Lahm, who is the one player of those 5 that you take out of that team and it changes completely? And he said Philip Lahm.
Yeah.
He was the heart to that team. And that's not just like, oh, he's the heart of the team. No, he was that team. That team was Philip Lahm. And the tenacity that he played with, it rubbed off on the team. Him being your captain, I think it speaks volumes to the type of player he was. But he's in a position that you don't see a lot of great players in. You see good players, but you don't see great players. He was a great player. So, it's unfair to Xavi because he does play in a position where you've got a lot more options for some of the greatest, but Philip Lahm was the right back.
Yep. Fair enough. There you go. And we're gonna call it a night here for now on the bracket challenge. But go ahead and remember to get the votes in. Bracket's gonna be on Instagram stories. It's gonna be on Facebook, also on Twitter. So get the votes in where
it's no longer Twitter. It's no longer Twitter. It's X. To be determined.
Whatever. X's name.
You should make a claim on that.
You're still an X.
He's kind of stealing.
I thought about making an account. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Because if he got mad at Zuckerberg for copying with Threads, you can make a counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. If you think X should go ahead and get some royalties from old Elon, go ahead and hit the likes on the channel. Subscribe to the channel as well and get that notification bell on. We'll be back real soon. Thanks for listening and have a good night.